Hey, hi everyone. So today we'll talk about Elasticsearch or cloud observability. Okay. So first, let's understand this. What is Elasticsearch and why is it needed? So what is Elasticsearch? So in the short form, we used to call ELK. Okay. So ELK, right? So ELK Elasticsearch is a distributed scalable search engine analytics. Okay. So when you talk about legacy database, right, where you used to store the data, right? But when you talk about Elasticsearch, okay, so it is very scalable and search analytics engine. So basically, it is a search analytics engine, search analytics analytics engine. Okay, it is a search analytics engine designed to store. Basically, we used to store that information. Okay, uh, and search. We used to search also. We used to search and analyze the and basically we use for analyze the large volume of data, analyze the large volume of data, large volume of data. Okay, so basically either it should be unstructured format, yeah, a structured format, right, in the real time. So Elasticsearch is search analytics engine, which help you to scalable. It is very much scalable. Okay, and search and analytics engine. Okay, which you can store the data, search, analyze the large volume of log data. Okay, volume of data either in unstructured format, yeah, structured format, both the format. Okay, either it could be unstructured data, yeah, structured data, right? So you can do in the real time. You can do in the real time. Okay, now. So when you do that, right, basically, so when you talk about data, right, so data, it could be in form of log, it could be metrics, it could be trace, it could be event, right? It could be log, metrics, events. Okay. So basically, Elasticsearch is not only for use for it can be used for application also, because so with the help of this, right, search capability is very much fast, right? So that is the use for Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch has some component, right? So basically, you talk about Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is a one component. There is another component in Elasticsearch, right, which is your log stash, which is your log stash. Log stash. So log stash is a pipeline, right? Just a minute. So log stash is a pipeline. Okay. So basically, you take the data from the data source. Okay. So basically, you are taking the data from the data source, right? 1 second. You take the data from the data source. Okay. So it could be your database, it could be your log file, it could be your search, and then it will do the log stash. Here is a log stash, the component. It will take the data in the input, filter out, filter out, and then output. So it is a pipeline. You can say data processing pipeline. Okay, and then once you have that, then in the destination, you can use for analyze and store, right? So that we can do that, right? And there is another component is called Kibana. Kibana is a visualization tool. Visualization tool. visualization tool, like how your Grafana is a visualization, right? Same way it is a Kibana is a visualization tool, okay? Where you can visualize your data, whatever the data you ingested, right? And then you do the processing with the help of Logstash, and then you can visualize in your Kibana, okay? So coming to that, okay, Elasticsearch has a few way to set up, okay? So Elasticsearch has a self-hosted. Elasticsearch provide Elasticsearch provides both self-hosted, okay, cloud serverless, yeah, also cloud hosted. Basically means that you whatever the component you have, right? You set up in your own VM, own environment. Okay, either it could be your VM, it could be your container, it could be your Kubernetes cluster, it could be anything. Okay, so it can be deployed on VM, Linux or Windows both. Okay, then it could be deployed on Docker container. It can be deployed on cluster, Kubernetes cluster. It could be EKS, yeah, AKS, yeah, GKE, whatever you use, right? There is a Cloud serverless. Cloud serverless means when you take that Cloud serverless service, means Elasticsearch will host your Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, everything in their environment. Okay, one is cloud hosted means you inform to Elasticsearch my all the data source. It is running on AWS cloud. You're running on Azure cloud. You're running on GCP cloud. They'll host on that cloud. Okay, so that is your cloud hosted. So you'll have a backend access also when you have a cloud hosted. Okay, so you understand that, right? So self-hosted, cloud hosted, and cloud serverless. Okay. Now, Elasticsearch has a three products. If you see this and go to your Elasticsearch official website, just a minute. So if you see this, just a minute, is loading. Hmm. So you see, right? One is used for search, basically used for ingest the data and you do the logs. Okay, basically log people used to ingest. Okay, and then visualize in Grafana. Okay, if you see this, they have a three components solution. One is search, e-commerce search, self-driven app search. One is observability. So Elasticsearch has a observability feature also, which you can do your infra monitoring, APM monitoring, RAM monitoring, synthetic monitoring, LLM monitoring, which your agentic apps, agentic AI that you can monitor that, right? Those kind of things also you can do that. And third one is security monitoring. Okay. So we have a three types of product. One, you can use Elasticsearch for only for e-commerce search. Okay, so for application team used to use for this using for this. Okay, and visualizing the logs. Okay, that they are doing this. Observability means how the Dynatrace, your Datadog, and New Relic has a capability for all the observability feature that Elasticsearch also do have, which is your log monitoring, your infra monitoring, synthetic monitoring, RAM monitoring, AIOps observability, application monitoring, everything they would have. Then they have a security monitoring. Okay, so that also they used to provide. Okay, now so we'll talk about in this section. Okay, uh, Elasticsearch observability. Okay, so basically we'll talk about Elasticsearch observability, and if you go to this, okay, so we'll talk about this section, and this section also will get included in this section itself because logs, right? So how you can ingest the log, how you can create indexes, all those things. We'll talk about this observability feature itself. Okay. Now, so you see this, there is a product. They do have Elasticsearch Cloud Serverless, means zero operational load. from you can build faster. Okay, so you take the service, you start using it. Okay, then you create a free trial account and start using deploying your infra monitoring, API monitoring, synthetic monitoring, RAM monitoring on board your application. Everything you can do that, right? One is Elastic Cloud Hosted. When you take this trial, means you need to decide how many environment you need. Okay, and running on it should be running on which cloud, so you can inform to the Elasticsearch when you are buying the product, and then you can use this is your cloud hosted. And one is self-managed Elasticsearch. Even you can do everything locally in your own orchestration. Basically in the own VM you can do that. Okay, so basically we'll be using this and this. Okay, so in this I'll prepare the complete architecture, and then you can do that, right? Now if you talk about this Elasticsearch Cloud Serverless. Okay, so I'm coming to the architecture. So if you see this, basically they have all the agent. Okay, so we have for application monitoring, they do have Elastic Agent and OpenTelemetry SDK. Both they do have. Okay, so you can use that for API monitoring. For infra monitoring, they have Elastic Agent as well as OpenTelemetry Agent. Okay, so for that also you can use the OpenTelemetry Agent and Elastic Agent for infra monitoring. And also you can use for OpenTelemetry Collector to ingest the data to your Elasticsearch Cloud Observability. It's very simple, right? And everything when you take the Cloud Observability, no need to have your integration server, which is your APM server, all those things. No need to have that, right? Everything running on their cloud. So you need to worry, no need to worry about that. Just you create account and use their service. Okay. When you have a managed architecture, basically you need to host, right? So Elasticsearch has to be hosted. Logstash has to be hosted and Kibana has to be hosted. Either it can be hosted on everything in the one VM, one cluster. Okay, you create if you are running on Kubernetes, you can create one namespace for Elasticsearch. You can create a namespace for Logstash, and you can create a namespace for Kibana, and you can do that. Okay, if you are running on VMs, even you can install all the three components in one VM. Yeah, that you can segregate that, and you can have a multiple node cluster. Okay, so how many nodes you need? One node, two node, three node, right? So that is the reason I have given that. Okay, so based on your application, based on your infrastructure, what could be the sizing, right? Yeah, what if you want to enable as a high availability, right? Those kind of things you can enable that as a HA. Okay, so there will be a data node. Okay, so how many nodes you want? Okay, node 1, node 2, node 3, and that you can have your Elasticsearch. Okay, now so they have one integration server. Basically you need integration server also for APM monitoring, right? Basically if you want to do the APM monitoring and synthetic monitoring, right, so you need a integration service. Okay, for APM agent, right, and send the data. You cannot send the data via Logstash. You send via data via integration server. Okay, which used to call earlier when you have Elasticsearch in version less than 7.0, we used to call APM server. Now we used to call integration server. Integration server can be used for pipeline. You can use for open telemetry. You can use for APMs, all those things. And when you have a synthetic, right, so we have a Beats agent, right? So Beats will be ingest the data via integration server. Then Elasticsearch and then Kibana, you can visualize that. Okay. So there is your data source. So either you have infra monitoring, APM monitoring, synthetic monitoring. So infra monitoring, you have Elastic agent and OTel agent. Even you have a bits for synthetic, APM agent for app agent. Even you can have hotel agent, hotel SDK. You have a hotel collector also. You can have your hotel collector dedicated, and then you can send the data. When you are doing that, you can have a Kafka if you wanted to do that. Yeah, Redis for data processing, all those things. You can do that, and then you send the log stars. Okay, and then you send to Elasticsearch, and then you visualize. Even this is optional. That is your wish. How you can do that, right? So this is your managed architecture. So let's do that. Okay. So now I'm coming to this and I'm going to temp email and I'm creating a SAS file. Basically, when you are going with that temp email, remember that one thing, it cannot be if you do that, right, second time when you are logging in, it will send you the OTP on the email. Okay, basically I'm not doing the any SSO integration, all those things, right? So basically you'll be using the normal user ID and password, right? When you use that, you have not done any integration, it will send you an email to OTP. So temp email is not efficient, okay? But still you can do that. Okay, so start a free trial. Okay. Now email ID, password. So see, it will send you the request code the first time. Every time, whenever you log in, right, it will send you the request code. Okay. Then only you can log in. And temp email when you use, right, uh, after when your browser is getting cold, change your email is getting changed. So you cannot have that. So basically, you cannot use that whenever you are doing the end-to-end setup. The same account you want to use for future purpose, all those things you cannot use that because it will send you that name Ravi AP company. I can use where I kept, just a minute. So this is my for.com. Continue. You can put any name. I'm expert in Elastic. New use case and use this. Okay, Elasticsearch observability. Which feature you want, right? So they have the Elasticsearch for build API, create experience easily, all those things. Either you can use this, either you can use this, yeah, either you can use take this. I'm taking this. Now you want it should be a cloud hosted, yeah, it should be cloud serverless. That is your wish where you want to host. So I'm going to cloud serverless. Okay. Now I want to go observability complete. Okay. So it is getting hosted on GCP cloud. Okay. If you want to change a cloud provider, change to AWS and region. I'm taking this and then launch. So basically you can do the changes also. Basically you that is your wish. Okay. They are giving the options. So just wait for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. And then your account will get created and then you can log into that account. So just a minute. So wait for a few minutes. So now my Elasticsearch is loading. So this is my UI. Okay. So this is your complete UI. Okay. So if you go to your observability, this is your complete UI. Okay. And here you have seen on the Datadog, you install the agent, you install these things, right? So you go to this integration section and find the agent, all those things. Here we have something called add a data, ingest the data. Okay. So that terminology they have used. Okay. So this is your discover. So let's understand the UI first. Okay. So wherever you go, they'll ask you add the data. Okay. So this is your dashboard section. This is your alert section. This is your case if you have created any case. Elasticsearch, this is your SLO, SLI, SLA that you used to create, right? Service level agreement, objective agreement, right? So those things. This is your streams, data streams, how the data is getting streamed. This is your application. So traces, all those things you'll get when you have API monitoring. This is your infrastructure component, and this is your mode. Mode you have in the basically AI machine learning this, okay? And there's a setting tab, okay? So setting tab, you have all the APIs key, custom roles you want to create, billings, members, alert, all those things, maintenance window, that whatever things you want to create, right? That you have in the admin section. So it's very simple. UI is very simple, not that much complex. You can say that, okay? So let's see. I will ingest the data. Okay, so basically I'll go to the observability. Wherever you go, right? Either you go discovery page, a dashboard page, any page you go, you'll have options to ingest the data, right? So I'm ingesting the data. So if you'll go to the infrastructure, basically, then you have a add data. Yeah, either you go to the observability page, you have a add a data. So add a data, redirect to the same page. If you go to the infrastructure, and add a data, it will redirect the same page, right? So here we have, you see, right, what do you want to monitor? Host, application, Kubernetes, or cloud. So I want to monitor the host. So if you select the host, there is two types of agent. One is Elasticsearch Elastic agent, which help you to scan your host, their logs, their metrics, all those things. And there is an open telemetry. So basically, you have a two types of agent. Okay. So if you select this example, you see it can be installed on the VMs, right? But if you see this, we don't have option. You see, right? It support only Linux and Mac. You see, right? Here we have a Linux and we have a Mac. Windows we don't have. You see this? So there is another way to monitor your Windows. And then your open telemetry also it support only Linux and Mac. Linux and Mac. So let's go with the Linux first. Okay. Now, so I'm going with this agent. So let me create one VM EC2. Just will do the inform on, right? Instance running. Launch instance. Just I'm giving pet clinic. It is a pet clinic is my server application. So that I'm server name is I'm giving pet clinic. Imagine Linux. And instance type I'm taking 2 virtual CPU, 4 GB of RAM. Okay, create a new key pair. Elk deep dive. Okay, this is my PEM key creator. Okay, now let's go to the security and everything running on the port 443. Okay, now when you host your Elasticsearch, then it is running on 9200, all those things. We'll talk about that. Okay, how you can deploy Elasticsearch, how you can deploy Logstats, how you can deploy Kibana, and then you can prepare the architecture. That we'll talk about it. Okay, and then we'll be doing it. Okay, let's understand this few features, then we'll be doing that, so it will be easier for everyone. So I'm launching instance. So instance got created. Let's log in. So I have this. So I can connect this. So let me open my Mova Extreme. Oh, it is not available. Okay, so that's fine. Then I can connect with Cloud UI. Okay, sudo space su yum update -y. Okay, now let's go here and select this. Okay, now this, copy this, go to your VM and right click, paste it. Basically, it can run as a sudo user also. Yeah, you can run as a root user. That is your wish. Okay. Yes. Continue installing with the detected log also. Yes. So basically, they are asking you want to logs has been found in this directory, var log, imagine SSM logs, audit logs, and this. If you want to give yes, then it will take this logs. If you know, then it won't take this logs. This is a one command. So it is trying to install. So this is installed. Elastic Agent is configured and running. Let's check the status. System CTL status. Okay. Elastic hyphen agent. So it is running. You see this, right? Agent is running. Let's come to Elasticsearch UI. So see, it is captured. Now you go to either get started with systems. Yeah, directly you can go to the host page. You see inventory. So this is your infrastructure inventory. If you go to the host page, you can see the host page. So here see, so basically what type of agent you have installed. If you have installed this OpenTelemetry agent, then it will show as a OpenTelemetry. If you have installed, so what kind of operating system? So it is captured Amazon Linux. So this is Amazon Linux. So it is a filter option. Cloud provider. Right now we don't. Right now we have only one cloud provider. So you can select this. Okay. So basically based on this your uh, infrastructure filter. Basically you can say the tag. Yeah, based on the already they have given some things so that based on that you can say so operating system Windows Linux whatever things, right? So you imagine Linux, so you can select that. So you see there's a CPU load, memory usage, disk usage, okay, that is giving you that. And if you click on this, it will give you the complete informations, okay, of this host. So you see this is your KPIs started coming. So this is your CPU uses, average, mean, max, right? Normalized load 9%, memory uses 21% memory utilization. Then we have network, disk usage, slash. So they have a slash root and slash boot. So it have a 10% and 13%. Okay. So slash root has a 10%. And this is a disk IOPS. So we have a complete data, right? So this is your infrastructure KPI. So this here we have a metadata information. So what is the host, the OS name, OS version, all those things. We have given the metadata information. And here we have a matrix. That's the same matrix that we talk about. And we have enabled process also. By default, it has enabled the process. So this process is running. We have only one process is running right now because nothing is completely this server, right? And then we have logs. So all this var logs that we have captured, right? So that we have enabled as yes. So it is capturing the logs. If there is no anomaly, so anomaly you won't get anything. Why UI is slow? There is no anomaly, and this is the OS query not available. Okay, so basically this. Now, if you want to modify this host, so where I should go? Setting tab, OS name I can change as a pet clinic because why? Because we have given the OS name here as a pet clinic. But we have not set on the OS, right, with the help of hostname_ctl command, right? There is a command is called hostname_ctl. So when you do that, set the host name, then only it will come as a this. Otherwise, whatever the default IP, that only will take. Okay, so here we can change the pet clinic and save changes. So now if you see this, basically we have done the changes, so restart agent is needed. Not coming yet. Basically, it is not coming. So it has to be come from there. So it has to be come from there. So then only you can do the changes. Okay. So still it is checking host name is this IP. So that we have to change it from this server itself. Here you type hostname CTL, hostname CTL set hyphen hostname equal to pet clinic, right? So okay, so once you do that, then only hostname. Now you type, so it is a pet clinic, right? So basically you have to do the changes from the here, and then you do that, it will get reflected, right? And how you can check the status, already you aware of this. Okay, you want to do the restart, you can do the start, yeah, restart. Check the status, it is running. So this is my host information. Okay, so now if you go to your infrastructure, you see pet clinic got added. So now this is also getting captured by, sometimes it will get hidden. Okay, won't be listed over here. So after sometimes, not now. Okay, so this is the way you can install your Elastic agent. Okay, and on your OS, and you can visualize your data. Okay, now so after that, once your infrastructure is getting visible, now we'll talk about how you can deploy your application monitoring. So you see, right, when you go to your infrastructure and you add a data, okay, either your infrastructure, your application, anything, right? We have option, right? So application you want to ingest, so you have a two types. Either you can go via OpenTelemetry, yeah, go via Elastic Agent. Even in the host, right, you have a two types: Elasticsearch Agent and OpenTelemetry. Same thing, right? But here a lot of things. Sometimes you have to do a lot of change in the configuration files. Okay, YAML file, Elastic YAML file, and this is the Elasticsearch that developed this agent. So basically, inbuilt agent. Okay, same goes to application also. So we have OpenTelemetry and Elastic. So we will be using both. Okay, so one application you will going with OpenTelemetry, and same application going with Elastic also. Okay, we'll talk about the same API monitoring in the next lecture. Okay, so that's it from this lecture. Hope you understood about the Elasticsearch. Thank you.